Michigan started the season strong, winning their first two meets. Over a month later, they're looking for their third. NAIA Wilberforce is a young roster in their first year of existence, just trying to get some experience. Western Michigan needs to bolster their resume. Currently ranked number 42 in the nation, they need to shave at least 6 spots to have a shot at qualifying for the NCAAs. We welcome you in, everybody, to the George Gervin Game Above Center. Brent Balbinot alongside Kim Dowis-Brown. It is time for MAC Gymnastics as the Eagles host Western Michigan and Wilberforce. I'm Brent Balbinot. She's Kim Dowis-Brown. Kim, we've got a triangular, I believe, as they refer to it in the sports world. But this is going to be an interesting one because we've got several different teams, each trying to get something different out of tonight's meet.
Absolutely. Each team is coming in here with a different vibe, with a different agenda, and I think it's going to be a great night for gymnastics. We're seeing Wilberforce for the first time, brand new team out this year. It's going to be quite the evening here at EMU.
Eastern Michigan looking to get a little mojo back in their home arena. Western still very much in contention for the NCAAs as a team.
Absolutely. Western is here and ready to go, ready to rock. They met last week, 2 weeks ago, and Western came out on top, but right now it's going to be all about EMU in this building.
Well, there we're taking a look at some of the athletes we will be taking a look at this evening. Ella Chamati for EMU. Leora Pete Williams for Wilberforce. We just saw Kyrie Lowe. There's Rylan Garvey, a freshman. How much better is this young lady going to be in another 3 years?
She is going to be the next it girl for Western. She is already hitting big scores with 39 twos, and she is ready to rock and roll tonight.
She's a future it girl. There's the current it girl, Cassie St. Clair, a little bit of Miss Everything for the Broncos.
And Cassie St. Clair is incredible on floor and vault. Those are her two events that she really excels. She is the 2024 MAC champion, and you're in for a treat with her this evening.
First buzzer is sounded. The last of the warm-ups are finishing here as we get set to get started. Wilberforce and Western Michigan each making a relatively short drive to Ypsilanti as Eastern finally back in their home arena for the first time in over a month. Let's talk a little about this Eagles squad since they are the hosts, Kim. Again, they shot out of the gate extremely fast. Matter of fact, knocking off the preseason favorite to win the MAC in Ball State in, again, a group meet. But since then, seeing the scores kind of fluctuate a little bit. What do you expect to see out of the Eagles tonight?
I expect them to do what they came into this arena to do. They are hungry. They're ready to prove themselves. They lost to Western in their last meeting in Western's home arena. So today, I think they're ready to go out there and just put a win on the table.
There you see a very serious-looking Coach Katie Minnesota. That will probably wipe off her face very quickly. She tends to be very animated with her athletes.
Absolutely. As soon as we get into this meet, she is gonna unleash. She's gonna unleash. She's gonna be ready to go.
So, go ahead.
Over on bars, we have Rylan Garvey. She just did a huge staccato to blind half straddle back. What I really love about this athlete is she is so aggressive. She attacks every event, every routine, like no one I've ever seen before. Gearing up for that double layout dismount, that landing.
On the vault, in the lower right-hand corner, you see Abby Brushwood start off with a very nice effort on vault.
And for Abby, that is a huge vault. That is a front handspring, front with a half, 995 start value, and she performs it so well.
Over on the beam, and they changed up the lineup, or the order, I guess I should say, for Wilberforce. This is Mackenzie Butler. Check that.
Yes, Mackenzie Butler.
It is Mackenzie Butler.
And
yep.
I watched this routine before, and it is gorgeous. She really shows off her flexibility, as we saw once we went right to that beam routine, in that needle scale, into the front walkover, into another scale. Nice into a back handspring layout, step out, a little bit off. This team in the last couple meets have struggled a little bit on balance beam, but as we said at the top of the show, they are a brand new program, and they are just getting out there, getting their feet wet, and that is good for competition.
Back to vault as struggling to start things off. We see Butler getting ready for Eastern. Up next,
Kyrie Lowe is up next here on vault, and Kyrie is going to do a Yurchenko with a half. It's a great vault. She does it beautifully. Watch for the block off the table and the stretched body shape that she will show.
Picture of intensity as she makes her approach. A little bit on the hop, but very solid.
A little hop to the side. That will be a deduction. She stayed with inbounds, but she'll just garner a directional error deduction. But that was a great opening vault for the Eagles.
And now she allows herself a smile, as I believe action is about to resume over on the uneven bars for Western Michigan. And this should be Molly Freeman.
Yep, Molly Freeman. And Molly is going to do beautiful piked Jaeger down to the bail to the low bar in connection. Molly is a homegrown Kalamazoo girl. She has been with Al Sharns, who is the assistant coach, all her life. Beautiful blindfold to double tuck. Rocks the landing.
Another
nice
stuck landing.
These Western athletes, they definitely know how to do bars, and they know how to hone in on those landings.
So the first two out of the gate quickly for Western Michigan on the bars. Likewise for Eastern. And here comes Miss Everything for the Eagles, Raisa Forrest.
And Raisa, she's struggled the last couple meets with this vault, but this is a unique vault. It's a Laconia vault. It's the only 10-0 start value vault on Eastern's team. Let's see how she handles it today.
Smiles, the presentation, and now all business. Deep breath, and she's off.
She's going to do a Yurchenko full-on back pike off. A little sideways in the air, but that's one of the best vaults I have seen her do in a while. I'm so glad she was able to hone in on that landing and got an incredible block off that table. I am loving this little hand tunnel they're doing this meet. This is new, but I love it. I'm here for it.
Over on the beam, getting set, Wilberforce, and I believe this is going to be Kiora Pete Williams.
Yes, and Kiora is their top all-arounder, having earned a 38.075 as her high all-around. So she will do all 4 events tonight.
And as we're used to, multiple action over on the bars. Reese Samuelson is now underway for the Broncos.
Beautiful straddle Jaeger, just a little close to the bar. It'll be a small deduction. Down to the low bar, beautiful pack. That form on her pack is just immaculate. Toes and glued together. She is no stranger to uneven bars. As a club athlete, she probably won every state and regional title on bars. Beautiful double layout. Stuck that landing for those EMU bar teams. They came to play today.
They also brought a small army with them. This is a loud and very well-traveled contingent from Kalamazoo.
They did bring a small army, which is fun to see.
Up next, we go back to the vault in your upper left-hand corner. You see Pete Williams trying to regain her composure on the beam.
And Bree Lucas is going to be up on vault. She is a freshman. Career high on this event is a 9.875. She's planning on doing a Yurchenko full, which is a 9.95 start value.
Trying to stay locked in as she's now ready to go.
And we have Kiora here on beam for Wilberforce. Open with a back handspring layout step out here. A little bit of form in the knees and a slight bobble at the end, but did not come off the beam, which is super great.
Most important.
Most important. Nice full turn.
We've got all 3
so
apparatus going now.
And
wow.
Brianna Lucas, a nice Yurchenko full. It was a tuck full. I thought she was going to do a layout full, but she did a tuck full. And she handled it nicely. And Kiora over here on beam for Wilberforce, moving through this routine nicely, just did a nice solid aerial with split jumps, getting ready for a gainer full dismount. Nice landing.
Meantime, Reese Samuelson has stuck her landing. Took a little bit of a hop over on the bars.
That was McKenna King on bars.
Excuse me, McKenna King.
With a nice double layout. She is beautiful on bars. Her form is exquisite.
Hey, take a look at Coach Katie, Minnesota. Alone with her thoughts right now.
Yep, just vibing at the end of the runway, just seeing what's happening. Listening to the music, getting in her zone. And here comes Gwen Cantu, one of my favorites.
She's just, that is her personality to a T. Very bubbly. I asked Coach Minnesota before the first meet, I said, okay, so who's your ham? Who's your performer? And she goes, it's got to be Gwen Cantu. And Gwen goes, I don't like ham. She goes, okay, you're a turkey.
She is a turkey.
And Gwen said, okay, I'm a turkey.
She 100% is a ham. Well, a turkey. She's the funniest person. She is one of my favorite humans, and I've said that every broadcast that I have. She is literally.
You see it, though. That's her personality. It just never leaves.
We are kindred spirits.
Right now, she's trying to lock in. She's got that heavy arm brace. She will take that off for the bars, but she keeps it on for ball.
She's going to do Yurchenko full. Just a small hop back on that landing, but that was a great fault for Gwen.
As in your upper left-hand corner, as you see Cantu go through the tunnel. This is Korfich, correct?
Yes,
Julie Korfich.
And she is going to do a unique dismount here. Front toe on, front off, in the pike position with a half. Beautiful. It's extremely hard, but she does it extremely well.
I had a chance to talk with Coach Penny Jernigan before the meet started, and I said, who's your most improved athlete? She said, without question, Julie Korfich.
And I would totally agree. I've been watching her. She's a sophomore. She has definitely improved from her freshman year till now.
Back over to the beam.
And this is Promise Jean Marie. I just like saying her name. I probably am not saying it right, but I like to put that little accent on it. But what I love about her is her split position. She takes them to that 180 all the way as split as she can. Back handspring, layout, step out. Hips a little off to the side, bringing her off the beam. She did struggle with that last week as well.
Of course, there's a smile as she's back on the beam.
And what's important for Wilberforce is to remember they are a brand new program. Yeah. They're competing every weekend, and their one coach, Dr. Baird, she was a athlete actually at Central Michigan for 1 year before she transferred to James Madison. And their other coach, China, does not have coaching experience. However, she is a judge, so that can add to the help they need to work on the fine little details and what a judge is going to take. Up on bars, we have DK Roy, and DK is a senior, and wait for this dismount. This is a new dismount she learned this year. She's going to do a double layout flyaway with a full twist.
Right now, we're focusing in on the vault for Eastern Michigan.
Elena Fisher on vault. Your Kenko full. 995 start value. She is one of the most powerful athletes. She just takes that ball right up there, and of course, she likes it. The tunnel likes it. I kind of want to run through the tunnel.
Maybe if you ask real nicely, though, keep it
at the end for me.
Yeah.
Just let me do it.
You have to do one tumbling pass, though, to earn it.
I could do a tumble.
Okay.
Do a tumble.
I don't mean a somersault. I mean a true tumbling pass.
Okay, can I do beam instead?
You want to do beam instead? Okay, you know what? You get to pick.
Good. Okay, I'm going to do beam instead.
All right, fair enough.
I could do like a dance routine on the floor, but beam, I could do a tumble. I got bad ankles. I cannot, that floor. I played stick it with my athletes last night at the gym, and let me tell you, Allison and Cadence, I gave them a run for their money, though. I won.
Did you now? Oh, you won.
I did. I won. Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's like that teddy bear I had as a kid. When you pull a string, you keep getting another story. Rip story. Rip story.
I am full of stories, let me tell you.
All right, working our way through the first rotation here. You see the numbers, and this is one of the benefits we've been able to give you this season with the new graphics package that we've had. You're seeing the scores in real time. We don't have to wait.
No. And Western has an exhibition routine here with Sydney Haubach. Beautiful pack down to the low bar. That pirouette right on top of the high bar, and that is so important to make sure you're hitting those handstands. And she is in this exhibition spot getting, her feet wet, seeing how she'll score. Nice double layup.
They're young, but they are loaded.
To quote from Big Ten commentating queen Olivia Karras and Dino, Western has brought the sticky Kool-Aid with them as their beverage of choice today here at Eastern, because let me tell you, they are sticking those landings.
Yep. Got a little bit of a delay for Wilberforce over on the beam. This should be getting ready for the last of the athletes for Wilberforce.
Actually, this is
Jaden
Jaden
Bryant,
Bryant. They
correct.
still have, this
They've
is
got
number
Diamond
4.
Cook to go, all right?
They have Diamond Cook to go, yes. They are doing some conferencing, the judges, probably talking about those the fall, seeing if she has all her requirements, what the start value is going to be. So yeah, sometimes it just takes a little conference to get those scores right.
You see both Eastern and Western putting their best foot forward on the vault and bars respectively. I know I talked with Coach Katie Minnesota briefly before the meet tonight. Did not get a chance to come up to watch practice this week, but I said, where you at? She goes, sometimes in our own heads. She goes, we want aggressiveness, more aggressiveness on 3 out of 4 rotations. But she goes, I want them to relax on beam.
Absolutely. You want to be relaxed on beam. You want to be strong, sharp, confident, but yet still relaxed because it is balanced beam and it is 4 inches wide.
So it looks like whatever the confusion was over on the beam, they're sorting it out. We can fill a little bit here what points of emphasis that the judges are going to be looking at. I know you're going to say they're all important, but is there any one in particular that maybe especially young athletes should focus on more, maybe have more trouble with as they get used to the apparatus?
Well, I would certainly go with that third one, balance.
Okay.
You want to stay on the balance beam for sure. But your skill connections and your split positions, those are definitely points of emphasis for any athlete, not just new, but all.
Well, as you talked about it before, I mean, you maybe finish up a pass or get some of your technicals in. It takes so much concentration. You're operating on less than half a foot. You've got virtually no room for error. So while you may while you may hit, you can't stop. You can't pause. Is that something that has to be learned, or is that something that can be innate?
It can be learned, it can be innate, but some people are just born beam workers, but others, yes, they have to practice pretty hard. But the beam, again, is 4 inches wide. Wow, that was a great skill.
Yes, she did.
Front aerial to a side aerial. That is incredibly hard. Mind you, 4 inches wide. Take your cell phone, turn it sideways, and hop on top of it. That is the balance beam that we're tumbling on here. But that was a great save there.
And unfortunately, she can't save this one. Almost.
She just got her hips a little. I think they're just a little nervous. It is hard to start on beam. It's hard to end on beam. Beam is just hard. But she's back on the beam, working through it in her jump series there. But it's important to work on flow and connecting everything together. Judges want to see that beam routine not stop.
Yeah.
No pauses. Pauses are deductions. So you want to make sure that you are working not only the skills, but the dance elements and the flow of the routine as well.
Talking briefly with Coach Bird as they were warming up on the vault. She said this team is maybe a bit too serious in their own heads. Likewise, what you heard Coach Minnesota say is almost just a little under-rotated. She said constantly having to tell her team, keep your head up, be more vocal. You watched both Western and Eastern during their warm-ups, non-stop support, because that's what my team needs to do more of.
Absolutely, and that will come with them being together, getting to know each other. This is a new program, and it's a mixture of freshmen all the way up to seniors. And actually, a few of them have been together. They came from Talladega. Talladega was another HBCU gymnastics program. They did a year last year, had a great season, and then the college disbanded their team. So a lot of these young ladies have been together for maybe a year. And then there's athletes that are brand new. So some know each other, some don't. But it just takes some time to get in that rhythm for each other.
I don't know what Abby Brushwood was doing, but she was very locked in there. Goodness. Right now with a little bit of downtime with one more performer still to go for Wilberforce on the beam. What do you do to keep yourself loose, but at the same time still locked in? What's that fine line? How do teams handle this type of downtime?
Well, right now, as you can see, they're laughing, they're joking, they're talking. You can only do so much of warming up for the next event before you get over-warmed for the next event. So they're just hanging out, talking to each other, trying to stay in their own little bubbles. as Wilberforce finishes up here on balance beam. But as you can see, they're just giving words of encouragement, seeing what to do next, kind of just trying to stay loose and, listen to the music and try to just get ready to go on the next event when it's time.
Getting a good look at the freshman superstar, Rylan Garvey there, having a chat with Coach Jernigan. Won the all-around last week.
Yeah, she had her career high of a 39.2 in the all-around, which is fantastic.
Well, she won both the bars and the beam and had a career high on floor last week. Just a freshman. She's going to give opposing coaches in the MAC nightmares for the next 3 seasons.
She is. And we say she's just a freshman, but she's a seasoned freshman.
Yes.
She's gone to JO national championships at level 10 twice. She knows how to compete, and she knows how to do those skills. She is right in her element, though. And mounting the beam right now, this is Diamond Cook.
Diamond getting sole attention from our camera and our broadcast crew right now.
Absolutely. And Diamond is a sophomore.
Sailing from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, beautiful switch leap there. It's important to hit those 180 degrees on both those leaps, which it appears that she did. Oh, the ever elusive full turn. Beautiful right into combination into a flutter jump. She's going to do a unique series here. Should be a punch front to a back handspring. She is getting ready, gearing up for that at the end of the beam here. Punch front on the beam is incredibly hard in itself, and then to add that back handspring, let's see how she handles it. A little bobble there with the feet, so they will break that connection because it wasn't fluid. All that's left is her dismount, which would be a punch front full, stuck landing, beautiful. That was a great way to finish out for Wilberforce. They needed that. They needed that confidence ending that beam rotation going into floor.
With only one teammate above a 9, Diamond Cook looks like she's going to make it 2 for Wilberforce. As you see the rest of the scores, and head coach Katie Minnesota for Eastern Michigan serving her kingdom. The queen now smiling with the rest of her subjects. Oh, and now hamming it up.
And waving at the camera. Look at she's busting a little move there, a little dance.
You can take the kid out of gymnastics, but you can't take the gymnastics out of the kid.
No matter how old you are.
Nope, none. Now she's going to hustle over.
And we have the little one
how
behind us.
We got here through the first rotation for all 3 teams. Eastern, strong efforts on the vault. Started off with Abby Brushwood. Wilberforce had a couple of falls, and Western Michigan was very strong on the uneven bars.
They were solid on the uneven bars, rocking almost all those landings. Definitely drinking the sticky Kool-Aid. Thank you, Olivia Karras.
Right now with this rotation, Wilberforce will move to the floor. Eastern moves to the bars, and Western will take their turn on the vault.
Balance beam.
Pardon me. Balance beam. Excuse me.
No worries.
I was looking at the vault because it was empty. Taking a look at Abby Brushwood with a very strong. As a matter of fact, look at Eastern. Pair of 9.8s, 9.75s, 9.6. Those are very strong efforts.
Absolutely. Eastern came out of the gate. Strong scores. You get to drop the lowest one. So they did very well in this opening rotation.
On the flip side, freshmen miss everything. Rylan Garvey with a 9. Look at that. 2 9.875s. They've got 3 at 9.8 or better. Both teams really going to push each other over the next 3 rotations.
Absolutely. This is going to be a fight to the finish. Who can stay on the event, who can stick the landings, and who can bring in those big scores.
Right now, arguably the most difficult rotation. Wilberforce gets it out of the way. You've got 2 with 9+ scores. But right now, as you talked about, first-year program, everybody kind of getting used to each other. Right now, what this team needs is just more reps.
Absolutely. This is just adding to their consistency and their confidence. However, they are at a disadvantage on some events working with only 5 athletes, so they don't get to drop a score. However, this is just get out there, get your feet wet, get the experience, and just compete together.
Take a look at some of the Wilberforce contingent. Go over now onto our screen here.
Yep, that is Sadara Mayhorn and Emily Herrera.
Meantime, there is Coach Penny Jernigan for Western Michigan. And taking a look at where they rate right now as far as the overall MAC standings. Of course, Ball State was the preseason favorite to win it. How about the Chippewas? And, of course, you got Western Michigan rounding out the top three. Western understands coming into this one, they've got, I don't want to say no room for error, but it's getting smaller and smaller as we work our way towards the end of the regular season. They are still very much in contention right now, coming in ranked number 42nd in the nation, but you got to get to 36 or better. You're thinking NCAA.
Absolutely, and they have a chance to do it. They've been there before. They have a great shot at making it again, especially with some individuals. So it's really going to be, the rest of the season's going to be a close one.
There's something you don't see every day. Coach Bird for Wilberforce took her shoes off, was actually out on the floor, and was helping spot a couple of her athletes. That is earning your paycheck.
Well, you can't do it in heels.
Well, of course not. Name me the last time you saw that at all. She looks like she could make a couple tumbling passes herself. She is really fit.
She absolutely could. But yeah, you cannot spot on that floor in those heels. Let me tell you. I mean, some people can't even walk in them.
First time I went out just to see how it was, and again, the athletes will tell you there's a couple spots you have to be aware of, especially if you're the home team, you know where they're at.
Yeah. But it's bouncy. Did you do a little tumble? Did you take a little jump?
I might have skipped.
Okay. Hey, I don't blame
Does that
you.
count for anything?
It does. I bounce every time.
Actually, alum Anna Grace McCullough was here one night. I think it was one of the meets you were not available for.
Yeah.
And I came over to chat with her. She came to talk to me, and we just kind of, I'm like, do you have any eligibility left?
No.
Just they could have used her.
And we have Braylon up on balance beam for Western, getting ready for her series. Back handspring. Beautiful layout step out. As we have Ella Shamati on uneven bars at the same time.
A great hold on the lower end.
Yep, bail to the low bar with a beautiful handstand. Right back up to that high bar. Gearing up for this dismount double layout.
All right.
Nice landing. Katie loves it. Ella loves it.
As she should.
Yes, she should. And Braylon is getting ready to finish up her balance beam routine. She just did a super difficult standing layout step out. Getting ready for her round off double full dismount. You will not see many of these in competition tonight.
And stuck.
Stuck landing. Chest was a little low, so she will incur a deduction for having that chest down. But that was a gorgeous beam routine and an exceptional way for them to start. Both teams out the gate in this second rotation.
There's just no way she's a freshman. There's no way.
But she is. I have known her for a very long time. She comes to us from UGA in Illinois, so I have literally watched her grow up, and I can tell you, she's a freshman.
I was going to say, you know everybody.
I do. And by the way, she's from Indiana and does gymnastics in Illinois. That's a little drive.
And is attending Western Michigan.
And now is attending Western.
So there's a tri-state flavor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What are they? Oh, they're throwing out T-shirts behind us. The littles going wild.
Well, up next on the beam should be Reese Samuelson for Western Michigan. And now we're going over to the bars.
Sinai Evans. Beautiful Maloney to the high bar. A little feet separation, but she has great swing. Packed down to the low bar. She just needs to clean up her feet a little bit. Could extend more through those toes, but she is a bar worker. She has effortless swing, and that is what the judges look for. Handstands and effortless swing. Took that double flyaway out just a little too much. Got her feet a little too far in front of her. But, I mean, you want more power than less power sometimes.
So Eastern Michigan now through two on the bars, getting ready for the start of the floor.
But we do have Reese Samuelson here on balance beam from Western.
And she has begun her routine.
And Reese is a sophomore. You know, she's actually a judge also. She did some judging in club gymnastics. Nice back handspring layout step out. Reese is quite the accomplished gymnast in club. She went to 6 level 10 national championships. has scored 9.95s on uneven bars and clubs. She is just exceptional. Another one of my favorites. I do have a lot. But she is just gorgeous on this event. Front aerial to a flutter jump. Beautiful. Throwing up that Western Michigan. She's going to get ready for her split jump to a split ring. Exceptionally hard. You have to take your focus off the balance beam, which she does beautifully without a bobble there. And gearing up for her punch front full dismount.
Oh.
Duck landing. Beautiful.
Need a strong core to keep your center there, and she held it.
She absolutely did. And we have Keely Collier here on uneven bars. Again, love her. Beautiful extension, toe point handstands, getting ready for her double layout dismount.
Okay.
See how the landing goes. Just the slightest step forward.
I'm being told that there is a floor issue, and I'm not sure how long it will take or what specifically it is, but Wilberforce waiting to begin this rotation on the floor. So right now our focus is staying strictly with the bars and the beam. And hopefully Wilberforce will be able to get started on the floor here as soon as possible.
And Keely was originally not supposed to be in the uneven bar lineup. That seems to have been a last minute change.
Yep, I was going to say that would have been the spot that originally we saw Gwen Cantu
Yes, that
scheduled for.
That should have been Gwen, but they put Keely in.
So hopefully Gwen is okay.
And on beam right now we have Julie. What I love about Julie is that this girl never stops smiling. She is always so happy with her gymnastics. Back handspring, layout stepper, almost right to the end of the beam.
Big smile.
Big smile. Small, slight bobble on it, but she has really come into her own this year, making multiple lineups.
As we go back to the bars now, is this Gwen?
It's Analia.
Nope, it's Analia.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Beautiful handstand. Analia has great form on the uneven bars. Nice double layout, stuck landing.
Solorio, and we go back to the bar, the beam, and man, the action is moving fast and furious here.
It is, and Julie stuck that front full dismount, and Annalise stuck her double flyaway, and there, you can probably hear screaming behind us because they are throwing out t-shirts for every stick that Eastern has to this gaggle. Yeah. Gaggle of children behind us.
Absolutely. Actually, they're the stars
There
here.
they
We
are.
can just kind of split the waters a little bit, but smile, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Wave, you're on TV.
You're on the camera. Well, you're on ours.
This is the future of the program, or at least multiple programs.
Multiple programs. They come from PAX Gymnastics. And fun tidbit, their coach, Bridget, used to be the coach at Western many years ago. She was a coach head coach for like 19 years. So little connections happening.
All right, so whatever the issue was on the floor, they have figured it out, and Wilberforce is now getting ready to start. They're a little bit behind.
Yes, they probably had, it seemed like they had a music issue, but this is Michaela Clements. Getting ready for this first tumbling pass here. A double, she attempted that double twist. Hopefully it's okay. Sometimes that is knees. You want to be careful with the knees with the twist.
She went early, but came up smiling. You got to get back in character, don't you?
Absolutely. Especially with this music. Little Jackson 5s. And now we're going to switch it up here.
So she went from 70s to 80s hip hop.
Yep. As you should. I don't see a problem with it.
She's spanning multiple decades.
She absolutely is. Front layout for that last pass. And up on beam, we have Trisha Mills. Beautiful series front toss. Nice pike front toss there for Trisha. And on bars, we just had Kyrie Lowe. You saw her dismount that toe front off with a half. There's a lot happening today.
Kyrie Lowe finishing up her bar routine strong. She's an all-around winner at Northern Illinois.
And Trisha fights for that dismount on that round off 1.5 twist.
We are flying through this second rotation. Wilberforce a little bit behind, obviously, with some, again, is it a technical issue on the music?
Yeah, I feel like it could have been a music issue. Like maybe they couldn't get their music to play. The devices didn't sync up to the system. Sometimes that happens.
This is where you just need to go back to the good old days of cassettes, right?
Or CDs. We'll just take it back one to CDs. I mean, cassette tapes, you had to wind those with a pencil sometimes, so.
I was going to say, I'm hearing 8-track being whispered.
Stop
if you're
it.
going to do that, go back to 45s.
Vinyl.
Put it on vinyl. Exactly.
Or let's just get someone to play live.
I don't know if they got the budget here, but you could probably find a good local band that would be willing to play.
We just need a pianist.
Really? Everybody's going to do ragtime then? Is that what you're saying?
Actually, Utah did it.
Okay.
For Jaylene Gilstrap. The pianist wrote the piece of music for her and then played it at their exhibition meet. It was Piano Man by Billy Joel. It was exquisite.
Okay. So action continues here.
And Raisa leaping over the low bar for me in true Eastern Michigan style. Nice hike Jaeger down to the low bar bail. Right back up to the high bar. She's going to gear up for her half in, half out of dismount. And let's see how that landing goes.
Very good.
Just the slightest hob she had. She really tried to hold on to that dismount there.
So Eastern making quick work of the bars. Back you see them celebrating Raisa Boris's performance.
And here comes the t-shirts.
And the squealing.
Whether they stick or not, the t-shirts are coming out.
Yep.
All these kids are going to be fitted with their t-shirts.
Some may have to grow into them.
Hey, they work great as bedtime wear.
Wow, they're still having issues over on the floor. My goodness. This has got to be a challenge. I mean, okay, so I'm not sure if it's a box issue, if they're waiting on the scoring. But either way, right now, you have got to be, I don't want to say antsy, but if you're Peoria Pete Williams, you've been waiting for a while now. How do you stay focused?
Well, it's time to go, so,
Now she doesn't have to.
Now she doesn't have to. She's ready. And same Sarah Moravansky over on the balance beam. She's just waiting.
Kind of holding her own.
Lots of conferences today. And this is a fun piece of music here that Kira is going to perform to on the floor exercise. She's going to start with her first tumbling pass, getting ready, putting her makeup on for the camera. She should do a 2.5 twist. Beautiful height on that. A little leg form, but that was an incredibly difficult opening pass.
Smoothing it out just a little bit.
Yep, a little whip and nay-nay. This is the fun part of their team. Dance breaks.
Bugging for the judges.
Getting ready for her Turchite full to a Popa jump.
Trying to work her way all the way back into the corner, getting ready for her next tumbling pass.
Front full to front layout to front full. Didn't quite get that around. She said at the end of that floor routine period, I'm done. And over to the beam with Sarah Moravansky. And Sarah Moravansky is a graduate on the team, so she knows how to do this balance beam routine. This is a great event for her. back handspring, layout, step out, all the way to the end of the beam.
I asked Coach Jernigan, I said, who has your highest gymnastics IQ? They need to realize I got to do a cover up here. I need to make an adjustment. She said, without question, it's this young lady on the beam right now.
I completely would probably agree.
Completely would probably agree?
I would. She has been doing this gymnastics for so long. However, that was a mistake right there in that full turn. She stepped backwards, and you cannot step backwards in that full turn. That will incur a deduction. Getting ready for her dismount, round off 1.5, stuck landing.
It's stuck.
And that is actually incredibly hard, that round off 1.5 from just a step. But she is a gorgeous beam worker. I'm so happy that she stuck around for a 5th year. I wasn't ready for her to be done.
Her future is medical school. She's been accepted, but her present is pretty good dismount on the beam. Well done.
Absolutely.
So our focus now comes back solely on to Wilberforce and the floor, as both Eastern, well, I take that back. Western still has one more and then an exhibition to go on the beam. Eastern, you take a look at their bar scores there, and again, they'll kick out one, but other than that, 9.75s, 9.8s. They are taping down.
Yep, you have to tape the mat down
Yep.
to put that line there so we can see if she steps over, the judge will know. Now in college, they use the tape. In club gymnastics, we just draw a chalk line unless it's level 10 nationals, then we use the tape. However, I like the tape better than the chalk line. And on balance beam, Hannah Milton is who we're getting ready to see here. And Hannah used to be in the leadoff position on balance beam last season, but she has moved to the 6th position this season. And this balance beam routine is absolutely gorgeous.
Just a sophomore, she gets set to mount the beam. You're about to hear the music kick in for Promise Jean-Marie.
And this will be a fun routine. She does show it off. She did struggle last couple meets with the tumbling. Let's see how she does today. And Hannah on balance beam. Beautiful aerial swing through to a Brini. And Promise on the floor
She
with
stayed in.
1.5 front layout, and she fought to stay in. If you step out, that is a deduction, but she kept it in. Both athletes showing off their flexibility with their split positions, both hitting that 180 on the balance beam and the floor exercise. And Hannah's gearing up for her gainer full off the side dismount. Beautifully stuck landing. Great routine from Hannah. That's going to pull in a huge score. And Promise is getting ready for her last tumbling pass here, which will be a double pike. See how she handles it? Out of bounds. Now she will incur the deduction for the fall and for the stepping out of bounds.
Just trying to lock back in here. She was so close.
She was. She
So
definitely
close.
was. Hopefully she is okay. She has struggled with that tumbling pass in the past. But again, as I said, they are just getting out there, getting used to competition every week. It'll all come together for them.
Going back over to the beam. And this should be
Gigi Singh.
Gigi Singh.
And Gigi is a twin. Her sister Abby, also a gymnast. They came from Phenom in Illinois, where they did their club career. And Gigi is beautiful on balance beam. She has been in the lineup before. She is a senior, which is crazy.
Let me guess, you've known her since she was this high.
I have known her for a while, yes. Nice full turn. Gearing up for her series here. Back handspring, layout, step out, solid as ever. She is a beam worker for sure.
This is an exhibition, but you can see by the scores, Western Michigan, a little bit more separation after this rotation.
Absolutely. Beautiful flutter jump to a straddle 3/4. Gearing up for her dismount here. And a gainer full off the end.
Little unorthodox.
It's very difficult. People do it, but it's very difficult, and she does it very well.
So Western is finished with the beam. Eastern already finished with the bars. We still have 3 more to go for Wilberforce on the floor.
And due to that music issue, it did put them a little behind. So they will have all eyes on Wilberforce for the floor exercise for these last 3 athletes.
Asked Coach Bird, when did you get in? She said this afternoon. He said it's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive. They like to get, obviously, to the arena early to allow the athletes to kind of stretch their legs, get limber before they actually start warming up. If you ever arrive at a gymnastics meet before the official start, it is something to watch.
It definitely is. As soon as they start warming up, they're playing games before their warm up, and then they go into their warm up.
So the music has started.
Madison Kelly.
Yep.
And Madison is a freshman. She has experience. She was a level 10 and has competed at Dev National Championships. Nice double tuck. Beautiful form. Those legs were glued together. She is really performing this routine. And so are her teammates on the side.
Doesn't everybody, though? You learn your teammates' routines, right?
You absolutely do. That's what makes it fun. Nice switch leap to a Popa. Beautiful straddle and split positions. You want to hit that 180, and she hit it in both, which is important.
A little flare.
They definitely have some fun floor routines and some fun music. Nice front through to a layout. But it's a dance break for me.
That's MC
With
Hammer for
both.
me.
They definitely want to make you want to get up and dance.
Yep.
I wonder how long does this headphone cord go, because
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I heard the rustling of some dancing in the control room. I'm not sure if Greg Steiner has pulled anything, but it's contagious.
it is. It is.
Oh, goodness. I was going to say, MC Hammer actually played some minor league baseball. You did not know this.
MC Hammer did?
MC Hammer
No.
did.
Are you teaching me something?
I am, before he got into music.
Wow. You know, he became a reverend after that?
Yes. He had some flair. Didn't he make parachute pants kind of in style?
He did. He did. He definitely was I'm not going to say creator of the parachute pants, but he definitely brought it to the forefront.
Are you admitting something that I didn't ask?
I had parachute pants.
Okay.
We're not going to lie.
I did not.
I know all the MC Hammer dances. Hammer time. Da-na-na-na.
I'm not going there because I took us off the rails earlier in this broadcast. It was tough to get us back on. I'm not going to talk about your tumbling pass, but if the cameras keep going for maybe a recording for the next broadcast we have, Kim's going to go ahead and do a tumbling pass to earn her right to go over to Eastern's Gatorade jug and fill up her can.
I already did that. I want to go through the tunnel. I want to go through the vault tunnel. Hey, you know what? I could probably do a very good run, squat on the vault table, squat, jump off. You know, that was the level 4 vault back in 1995. I could do that. Do we have a mini tramp? I don't see a mini tramp.
No, probably somewhere in storage.
Yeah, not in here. I could do a standing back tuck off the vault. I told you I played stick it yesterday.
I thought you said you wanted to do the beam.
I do. I want to
to
do the
earn your
beam. I
Gatorade.
could do the beam.
So
I
which
could.
is it? You're everywhere on me.
I love gymnastics.
Okay. All right, how about this? Can you relate as we wait for the next Wilberforce athlete to do their floor routine? My sister, and I'm going to out her on this,
Uh-oh.
into gymnastics as a very young kid. Kathy Johnson was one of her first coaches.
Kathy Johnson Clark?
Correct.
What?
Broke her leg, or she would have made the Olympics that year. And I think, in 80, the U.S. boycotted them.
In 80, yeah.
So, yes. And then she unfortunately suffered an injury. But to try to practice beam, you can get those very low ones. My sister instead, because they were too expensive, took one of the bed length panels on my mom's water bed. So it was leather padded.
Uh-huh.
Took it off,
Uh-huh.
put it in the living room, and would practice on that.
I can relate.
Those things are not very sturdy.
I broke my parents'
Ha!
I broke my parents' canopy bed because I used
Okay.
to bounce to handstand on the rails.
So I was going to ask you if you ever used any household furniture to practice, and the answer is clearly yes.
Yeah, who hasn't?
Okay.
Ask any gymnast. Okay, and this is Diamond Cook. Her floor routine, I love it. Front round off 1.5 to a punch front layup. So much power. She kept it in bounds. The last meet I saw them at, she went out, but she kept it in. This is a fun floor routine. She really shows it off, which I love.
We've got youngsters in the audience that know her routine. Look at the kids.
And they have Wilberforce leotards on.
Yep.
I love it. You go, girls.
All right. Diamond Cook is showing it off.
She's cooking.
She is.
Yep, I did that. She's cooking. Beautiful switch bring to a switch half, and she is killing it.
Very expressive.
Yeah.
Very expressive.
Yes, and even Western's getting into it. I love it. I love when the other teams get into everybody's routine. They're cheering her on. Western is all about it.
Wow.
Yes, beautiful. Front layout, front full was that pass she did. Oh, she is killing it. Yes, girl. And the little ones loving it. Western loving it.
Ha ha. It was worth the wait.
That was so good. I'm loving it.
But we've talked about this before. You've got to perform. It's not just enough to go out and execute. You've got to sell it.
You have to sell it. You have to perform it. And let me tell you, she did just that. Diamond Cook, you understood the assignment on floor exercise today. Oh no, Western's track team is leaving.
Or are they just moving over
Nope.
to the floor?
They're waving. I think they're saying bye.
Okay.
It's time to go to practice. They got
So
a
they
championship.
came for a couple.
They did. They came, supported.
It's Wilberforce walking by us. Diamond Cook, well earned as she takes a deep breath.
That floor routine was well worth the wait. It was fantastic.
So rotations. Okay. All right, we are waiting for the clock to start as Wilberforce had to wait a little bit to get their thing started. So we will be moving over, everybody rotating now. Wilberforce will go to the vault. Eastern will go to the beam. And Western will be moving to the floor. Just a matter of waiting for the intermission and the clock to start. There you see some future, possibly Eagles, possibly Bulldogs, possibly Broncos, or maybe outside the mat. We'll wait and see.
Maybe.
Got a really good crowd, though, tonight.
Absolutely. Well, I know the pack gymnasts, they are going to do a little performance at the end of the meet, so that'll be fun.
That is a very young future gymnast.
I mean, hey, start them young.
They do normally.
Expose them to the meet.
I don't believe any of those gentlemen have eligibility left.
I mean, they might. You never know. He looks young.
Which one? Don't
Both
even go
of
there.
them.
Don't go there. I'm right.
Both of them.
So everybody just trying to loosen up, lock back in. We are going to take a quick timeout. Third rotation when we come back. Don't you go anywhere. We'll rejoin you at the George Gervin Game Above Center. So, okay, Mom, never let it be said that we didn't say hi to both parents. Dad, hopefully you're watching. We adore your daughter. She's tremendous.
Yes, we do.
Let's take a look at the uneven bar results. And man, we thought Western Michigan came out strong. They came out even stronger in that second rotation. Not that Eastern did very poorly on the bars, but wow. Western has just taken their performance to the next level so far.
Absolutely. As you can see, it is a Western show here today. However, Eastern is headed into their last two events, which are strong for them.
Yep.
Actually strong for Western as well on the floor exercise. So it's really anybody's game in these last two.
Taking a look at the floor results for Wilberforce, Diamond Cook is a little sassy to end things up for the Bulldogs.
Definitely was. That 9.625 definitely well deserved.
Taking a look at Abby Brushwood and Raisa Boris, the two strongest vault scorers. And there's Eastern on the bars, Western on the beam.
And everybody is just sticking away today on some of these events. It's a magical moment here.
And don't forget Wilberforce on the floor. Wow.
And the routine that started it all in that second rotation.
Buzz of sounds. The warm-ups for this rotation are done. Again, Eastern on the beam. It will be Kyrie Lowe to start things off. Western Michigan moving to the floor. Rylan Garvey, the freshman phenom, gives a smile. She's so intense.
And her routine is one you don't want to miss. But right now, we are going to pull our focus over to Kyrie Lowe on the balance beam. Back handspring layout, step out.
Oh, brute strength. Brute strength.
Absolutely. Pulled that right back in. She is not going to come off this balance beam. She will fight for everything. Beautiful cat leap to a switch side. Really showing off that 180-degree split. Side aerial. She's going to fight for this tonight.
There you take a look in your lower right-hand corner off the vault. That was Michaela Clements for Wilberforce to start this rotation off.
Michaela did a tuck suk, which is a 9.5 start value. And then here we go on floor with Rylan. Beautiful, a double pike to open. And this routine is everything. It is fierce. It is sharp. She shows it off and has amazing tumbling.
You saw Kyrie Lowe stick her landing on the beam. So Eastern trying to make up a little bit of ground here in this rotation.
Eastern is fighting, and Western, this is where they could pull even farther away. They excel on floor. I'm glad the teammates stood on the opposite side of the floor for us.
So we can see unimpeded, yes.
Absolutely, because these Western floor routines are ones you don't want to miss tonight. Raylan is gearing up for her last tumbling pass, front to double tuck.
Little hop.
Got a little caught up in that mat, but gorgeous, gorgeous routine from Rylan. Great way to start out this third rotation for the Broncos.
Back over to the, well, we're going to see the beam and the vault. Here's our split screen on the vault. This should be Danielle Johnson.
Yes.
For Wilberforce. More t-shirts being thrown out.
Yep. And Analia will start balance beam. What I love about her is her beauty, her extension. Gorgeous aerial back handspring. That is incredibly hard, but she does it so well. She is gorgeous to watch on this event. She is very Ella Chamati-esque. Nice switch leap to a split jump. She just extends right through the fingertips, right through the toes. Beautiful split 3/4.
And again, very fluid.
You talked about the connectivity or the connections, how important they are.
Absolutely. She does not stop in this routine. She flows from one skill to another. Nice round off, full and a half dismount. Just that hop forward on the landing. But beautiful routine. And in the last couple of times that we have seen her, she has struggled a little bit on the balance beam. So hitting that routine without a wobble was exceptional. Really, the only issue there was that hop on that dismount.
So 2 strong performances for Eastern Michigan to open up the beam. Wilberforce, you can just see there, going through her thoughts. Trying to lock in on the vault. And this should be Kiora Pete Williams. We'll go back to the floor now. And Hannah Milton.
Yes, Hannah Milton is on floor, and we're waiting for Danielle Johnson on vault. But until then, we will watch the beautiful floor routine of Hannah Milton. Hannah is from Illinois, did her club career at Big Gymnastics. Hey, Kara and Mikey. Getting ready for her first tumbling pass. Front layout to Rudy. 2 beautiful split jump. Nice switch side to a split full. She has really come into her own this year on these events, really showing off these routines, going from top of lineups to middle or bottom of lineups. Absolutely love watching her.
Well, you saw right there, we just switched to vault very quickly.
Nice round off double tuck. So much height on that tumbling pass for Hannah.
And well done by Hannah Milton. And I think they're going to re-cue that last vault attempt.
And Danielle's just doing a simple front handspring vault, which is an 8-8 start value. But, you know, it's gaining the experience of competing.
Reps. Getting reps.
Absolutely. And she could have something else planned for later in the season or something that she's working on and learning. Only time will tell with Wilberforce's team. They are young, they are new, they are fresh.
And this is Kiora Pete Williams. And up next on the beam should be Caitlin Childress.
Yes, and she will mount the balance beam with a punch front tuck. Very hard. Only one you'll see in the competition tonight.
She is locking in. Got it.
Ooh, gripped with those toes. Did you see her? She was not going to bobble or come off the beam on that front tuck. Again, as I said, incredibly hard. Getting ready for her Acro Series back handspring layout, step out. Again, handling it beautifully. Eastern is determined on these beam routines this evening. Nice straight jump to a split 3/4. Back leg was a little low on that. She will incur a slight deduction, but that full turn was gorgeous. And she'll get ready for her round off 1.5 dismount. Just a slight step forward on that landing. I really don't think she needed to take it, but
I was going to say,
did
she hold that long enough for the judges' taste, or is that going to be a deduction?
That'll be a deduction because she took a step forward. And this is DK Rory. DK is a senior. She is so powerful. She is going to open with a double pike. And on the vault, we see Kiora with a Yurchenko tuck full.
Yep.
The only, I believe, only Yurchenko full that we're going to see this evening from Wilberforce. And DK is moving through her floor routine. Switch half to a split full.
Seems to be a very measured routine.
Yes, she knows exactly where she's going, what she's doing. She's purposeful in her movements. She's very sharp. I love the blowing of the kiss. That was one of my favorite parts of that routine. Getting ready for her last tumbling pass, front through to double tuck. Chet's a little low on that landing. She will incur a deduction there for that.
Strong effort.
But solid routine. Solid, very solid routine.
We go back to the beam. Getting ready to resume.
And Elena Fisher. She is a senior also. She is such a rock-solid competitor. Front toss, 2 back handspring. You can tell these Eagles have been working their balance beam. They are looking fantastic today.
This is where they're hoping to make up a little bit of that distance that Western got separation on this very rotation just a few minutes ago.
Split jump to a split full, incredibly hard.
Kim, this was the one rotation where Coach Minnesota said she wanted her team to relax, not unfocused, but relax.
And you know what? They do look relaxed. They look calm, cool, collected. Getting ready for the dismount. Cartwheel gainer, full off the side, stuck landing.
Yep.
I feel like this is just a different beam team than what we've seen in the last couple meets with wobbles and bobbles, and they are doing beautifully here.
Fisher getting high fives from her teammates. And now mugging it up a little bit.
The dance party starts.
Yeah.
We call that the Stick, Stay, and Slay at the R5 Insider College Salute podcast. You can tune in to that every Wednesday. We do mention you every now and then, so I hope you're listening.
Yeah, I am. I didn't get a chance to on the last one. I'll be remiss, but I'll catch up.
You need to catch up because I do a fantastic rap at the beginning. And on floor here, this is Kennedy Cooper. Fun small story about Kennedy. I choreographed her very first optional floor routine when she was a level 6. So to see her in college and doing amazing things is so fun. She's going to open with a full in.
Wow.
Yep, wow is right. I didn't tell you that was coming. I wanted it to be a surprise.
Coach Jernigan said that she changed her pass. And how common is that this late in the season?
Well, she normally does the full in. They put in a double pike for a little bit. We weren't, Jason and I at the Region 5 Insider were not happy with it, so they changed it back for us. I'm just kidding. They didn't change it back for us. I like to think so, but no. They just, you want to save the body, you want to save the ankles a little bit. She could have been having some trouble with it, but I'm so glad that it's back in.
All right, Isa Boris, you see in your lower right-hand corner there, is now on the beam for Eastern. And starting strong.
Absolutely taking that series right to the end of the beam. And Rayson knows how to do this routine. And front through to double tuck for Kennedy. A little low on the landing in that last pass, but this will be a tremendous score for the Broncos.
Wow. Kennedy Cooper is a windmill and a tornado.
All in one.
Tremendous energy.
She's definitely a power athlete. And Raisa gearing up for her dismount, round off 1.5.
Yes.
Stuck landing.
Yep.
And you know what that means. The T-shirts are coming.
Yep. Back over to the vault.
And this is Promise Jean-Marie. That's what I like to say. It might just be Jean-Marie, but I like Jean-Marie.
Trying to sound more French.
I am. I like it. Jean-Marie. I'm actually learning Italian.
Ah, are you serious?
I am. And
Okay.
she's going to do a Yurchenko. It's supposed to be supposed to be a layout, but ended up being a tuck. Probably a little off on that run. Could have been anything in the air, but
when did she
sometimes
make
that
the
happens.
decision to make the adjustment? At what point?
I would say she made the decision when her hands hit the table.
Okay.
Because nothing really looked off in the run. But sometimes if you're just not feeling the block, you're just not feeling the block.
I hope you can hear us because I can't.
I mean, me either.
They are definitely bringing some energy to the broadcast tonight.
They definitely are. Rowan t-shirts. And we are in a treat here on floor for Cassie St. Clair. She is the 2024 MAC floor exercise champion. Her and Gwen Cantu are actually club teammates. And we are wearing the purple this evening and the purple ribbons in our hair this evening in honor of their club teammate, Kara Welsh, who was a victim of domestic violence over the summer. She was a gymnast at Wisconsin Whitewater. She was a beautiful young lady. And so we are wearing the purple in honor of her this evening, all three teams. And Kathy actually has dedicated her season to her former club teammate. Cassie is a senior. And in our lower corner of the screen, you see our beam queen, Ella Shamati, who is also a senior.
Yep.
Which is crazy. Again, I'm going to say it. But she went huge last week with a 9.925.
Yep. That earned her some program honors.
It tied the program record.
Yep. 4th best score ever in the event.
Absolutely. She's getting ready for her dismount. Back handspring, a 1.5.
And that's why.
Yep, stuck that landing. She is also the 2024 MAC champion on the balance beam. And you can see why right there.
Teammates come over to support her as here comes Cassie St. Clair right into your living room.
Double full, incredibly hard. I cannot even stress how hard that double full is.
And of course, flashing the Western. She won the floor last week with a score of 9.9, and she was the MAC specialist of the week for that result.
Absolutely. She has been a 2-time MAC specialist this year on floor. And you can see why right there with that routine.
Up next on the vault, this is Diamond Cook.
Let's see if she can cook like she did on floor.
And here we take a look at Gwen Cantu.
And there's Gwen Cantu. As I said, she is
What is that? She's scowling.
When
have you ever seen that?
I've never. But she is the teammate of Cassie St. Clair. They did club together, as I mentioned. Again, wearing the purple in the hair with ribbons for Kara Welsh, their club teammate who was a victim of domestic violence. So the purple is to bring awareness to domestic violence and honor Kara's memory.
Cook. Little step forward.
Layout for Diamond Cook on the vault. Just chest forward. That is going to garner some under rotation.
How about the score for Ella Shamati? 9.90.
Too low. It's a great score. Anybody scoring, anytime you score a 9.9, it is a fantastic score. I might be biased. I think it should have been higher, but we'll take it.
There you see,
and they'll take it.
Kiss to the crowd by her teammate Keely Kohler.
Yes, and Keely opened up with a very difficult back handspring layout to 2 feet. Super difficult. I'm waiting for Keely to get herself into the beam lineup. This is an exhibition routine, but again, getting the feet wet, getting the experience.
Going back to the floor, here's Allie Shop.
And Allie is a senior. She has worked so hard to get into this floor lineup. She was in the floor lineup last year. Her high score on this event is a 9.925 career high. Fun fact, she choreographs her own floor routines. She is also an engineering major.
You take a look at Shamati in the lower right-hand corner, the 9.9. I was talking with Coach Jernigan. She said Allie Shop is a dancer.
She is a dancer.
Who does great gymnastics.
Wait for this jump right here. Beautiful. Let me tell you, I have photos of this floor routine from a Bahamas meet, and she is just picturesque. Every movement is deliberate. It is calculated. She knows how to perform this routine.
Long lines. How tall is she? I'm guessing, what, 5'8"?
5'4".
You got to be kidding.
No, she's 5'4".
Boy, she really gives off a bigger presence.
Nope, 5'4".
You got to be kidding me.
I kid you not, my friend. She is 5'4".
All right.
Front full to that beautiful arabesque out of it. Beautiful turtle full split, full extension all the way through the fingertips, right to that W. This is a routine I am going to miss watching next year. It lives rent-free in my mind.
There's just no way. Maybe it's just the elevation of the floor. She looks a lot taller than 5'4".
exquisite extension all the way through her fingertips and her toes and her beautiful long lines. That's why she looks so tall.
All right, you say exquisite. Allie, I'm going to do her one better and say elegant.
Elegantly exquisite extension. Exceptional presence.
Kim's trying to get her onomatopoeia down, but just the same, what do you think she's going to score there? That was a very fluid routine.
Well, I would like her to score a 9.9, but it's up to the judges, of course. But to me, that's a 9.9.
You take a look at, again, EMU done with the beam, at least for the scores that will count. Western is wrapping up the floor, and Wilberforce is done with the vault. We're going to be moving in. Now, we've got we have one more exhibition.
We have...
Oh, that's right. We've got Julie Corpage and McKenna King.
Yes, we
will
have
both be down as exhibitions for Western.
Yes, exactly. We have 2 exhibition routines.
I believe we have a 6'7" gymnast from Western, don't we? She looks like it.
What?
I'm in your head now. I'm playing ping pong.
6'7".
Well, 5'4" looks like 5'8", so.
And this is Julie. And what I love about Julie is she will smile throughout this entire routine. I think she's smiling in her tumbling, too.
You said she never stops.
I don't think she does. I really don't. But open with a double pike, great landing. No, I don't think she ever stops smiling. I have an athlete who is 10 years old, and she smiles in her front tucks even. It's smiling. I love it. But you know what? It's a performance, and she's happy to do her gymnastics. She's happy to perform. Nice fruity back layout step out that absolutely floats. Al loved it. And all eyes are on floor right now. Everybody else is done except for our exhibition routines here on floor. So everybody is enjoying this performance from Julie. Turgite full to a split full. Beautiful extension in those 180 split positions. And again, you want to make sure you're hitting those 180 splits on all leaps and jumps. And getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Front full front layout. Beautiful. And throwing up
That's
that
up the W. Coach Jernigan said they've really worked with her on her presentation and her expression. Basically, they wanted her to develop more showmanship.
I don't think they needed to work that much. She smiles, smiles, smiles. I think she's fantastic.
Well, smiles, but also a little sass. You can appreciate that.
I love a sassy floor routine. Couldn't you guess? I love a sassy floor routine.
Well, I'm eager to see Priya Carley's floor routine. She just never disappoints Barista.
She never does. And you know what, funny story, last week when I was at the Western Eastern meet 2 weeks ago, the whole team was doing her floor routine and warm-ups. It was great.
Let's take a look at what's on the horizon as we've got one more exhibition for Western Michigan on the floor. See San Jose State, UC Davis, Sacramento State. Then finally coming back for their last home meet of the season, March 14th against the preseason favorite, Ball State.
I am looking forward to that meet. We saw them in our try meet before, but did we really? But I'm really excited to see them take on Ball State.
Let's take a look at Western Michigan's schedule. Central Michigan, Illinois, and Wilberforce in North Carolina, and of course, MAC championships. Look at Western's gymnasts just getting into it with the kids.
Well, absolutely, you got to. How can you not? This song is...
Everybody is.
This is a pump-up song. And we have our last exhibition from the Broncos, McKenna King, and her floor routine is sultry and elegant. She's smooth. Openings with a high double tuck. I think she shushed all of us. did a little shush.
Did she?
She did.
Oh, I thought she was throwing up the W again.
She did it. She threw up the W and then she shushed. Before that, she gave us a little shush. I will gladly shush and watch this routine be elegant and sultry.
I'm going to have to come up with another adjective to try and top you because one comes to mind here, but I'm going to wait for her to finish.
This routine is, as my good friend Elena Markowitz, who commentates for Central, would say, it is silky smooth.
There's just an air about it.
Absolutely. Front to a Rudy. Chest a little low on the Rudy landing, but this routine was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna say sophisticated.
Ooh, sophisticated.
There was a sophistication to that performance. You agree?
It was a silky smooth sophistication of sultry.
Come up with one more S word.
Oh gosh.
She's gonna need a timeout to think.
I need one more S.
www.thethesaurus.com.
Yeah.
Kim Gazprom.
Oh.
We got a couple of Eastern Michigan, actually a handful of Eastern Michigan men's basketball players.
One of them's on the phone and not paying attention.
Arne Asanyik's
there
getting his
we
nose out of his phone. There you go. You're on the camera there, buddy.
Go. Got off the phone. She's taking a picture of her stem cells. I love it.
Oh, goodness. Good to see the athletes supporting their fellow athletes.
I love that. I love when everybody supports everybody. It's so much fun.
Look at Eastern, Western, and Wilberforce. Right now, Eastern has some work to do on the floor. Let's take a look at the vault results. Again, we've seen those. Abby Brushwood and Raisa Boris leading the way. Eastern really strong, but Western has kept up the pressure. As a matter of fact, even raised their level of performance through both the bars and the beams. You see the uneven bars. What else is there to say about Rylan Garvish? It's just spectacular. But you see, if you were, what do we call this, pack scoring, 1, 2, 3. You and then 2, 3 more, your teammates, all leading the scoreboard there.
But check out the balance beam results, and Eastern is topping the results in the balance beam category with that 9-9 from Ella Shamati.
There you take a look at the floor results. Cassie St. Clair and Allie Schott.
Both tied for 9-8-5 for both. Both exceptional floor routines, well deserved. This last rotation is going to be fire.
This has not disappointed.
No.
Has not disappointed.
This has been such a fun meet, such high energy. I think this is more high energy than it was when Eastern went to Western. Such a good time. I'm having a great time. Are you having a great time?
I am.
Good.
It's been a very sophisticated meet.
It has been.
You need to give me credit on your podcast for introducing sophistication.
I am.
It was Allie Schott's, wasn't it?
Yes.
Routine. It's a very sophisticated performance.
I made a note. So everybody, tune in to the R5 College Salute podcast every Wednesday. We don't do it live because that would be no good. But I do a nice wrap at the beginning, and we, talk about everything gymnastics. It's a great show, everybody. We talk about Brent also.
Yes.
Actually, this meet is in our lineup this week, so we'll be talking a lot about it and our thesaurus of words that we have used.
You were still supposed to look up a fourth S word, and you did not during the last commercial break.
Scintillating.
Oh.
Is that an S?
I think it's a C, isn't
no.
it?
I don't know. We'll pretend it's an S. If it's not, it is.
All right, you're taking a look at the lineups here for Western on the vault. Wilberforce on the bars, but Eastern on the floor. Now, Shamati is going to start it off.
Yes,
for the
she
Eagles.
is. Gearing up for this first tumbling pass. Double pike, gorgeous landing. Everybody loves it. There's a coach in every corner, which I actually love. Everybody getting into this routine. Ella's a senior. I'm going to miss her when she's gone next year, but that's okay.
Whoops.
Yep. Little trouble with that. Last time she had a little trouble with that too, but she just kept on moving. Did not let that bobble or hesitation get to her.
Lower right-hand corner, Western starting on the vault.
Hannah Milton with a Yurchenko full, just the slightest hop back on the landing, but a beautiful vault to start out this Bronco lineup. And we have Wilberforce on the bar with Madison Kelly. And on the floor here, Katie Minnesota and Ella Chamati, they're doing a duet heading into this last tumbling pass.
Except Coach Minnesota won't make the actual tumbling pass.
No, she won't. No, she won't. But that was a gorgeous round off 1.5 front layout from Ella. I bet Katie could do a routine still.
All right, strong start. What do you think of the philosophy behind what Coach Minnesota's doing here? She has moved Raisa Boris. We've seen Abby Brushwood start this rotation. We've seen her in the middle. She is the anchor here. Is she saving her big guns for the end in the hopes that they'll put something really special together and come up with something that puts them over the top?
I absolutely think that is the plan. However, we'll have to see. But you know what? Right now we're going to get ready on floor for the diva herself on floor. And then Rylan Garvey on the vault. So two killer routines about to happen right now.
Garvey getting the green. Coach Jernigan flashes the Western W at her. Kid with a smile. She reminds me of the intensity. I'm going to use the senior from last year for Eastern and Anna Grace McCullough. Every muscle tightens. The face, I mean, there's just such intensity.
Absolutely. And beautiful Yurchenko
vault.
Wow. Huge vault. Slight, from my angle, slight pike down in the hips, but she rocked and stuck that landing, which last week she kind of bobbled, lifted the foot up. So this was a much improved vault for Rylan.
Focus is going to move now to the floor with Priya Carling. And you talk about a diva.
Oh my gosh, this routine is everything. It is so many things. I have no words for this routine because you just cannot harness her intensity and her performance and her showmanship of this routine.
You see the intensity right there. The minute the music starts, you're going to see her performance kick in.
You will see a completely different athlete. And it was so fun at the Western Eastern meet. During the warm-ups, the teammates, they were all doing this routine with her in the open warm-up, which was kind of fun to see. I have a video of it, actually.
She's going to go over and get a sip of water. As there you see the youngsters. They have moved. They have rotated over to the floor, with this being the last rotation.
They have moved. They're getting their screams. They're getting ready because they're going to do a performance for us prior to awards, so I'm looking forward to that.
Here comes Priya Carling. And there is her alter ego diva, Carling,
Absolutely.
who has just kicked in on the floor.
Here she goes to her Rudy layout. Straddle jump, punch front, that pass, and it does not end. She runs right out of it. That pass fulfills her double salto requirement pass. Switch half, Popa maximizing that 180 split. She is hitting both of them beautifully, as you should. And on the vault, Brooke Zalesko with the front handspring tuck half. Again, I have known her for quite a few years. She is from Michigan. She went to Power in Motion, and she has really come along on that vault. That is such a great vault. I'm so glad to see her in the lineup.
Priya Carling's tumbling pass about to come into your living room.
Front double full. Right at you. She came right at us, and now here comes the dances and the face. Her and Katie hamming it up a little bit there.
You know, is she a good example? I mean, she's only 4'11", but that doesn't mean that your lines still can't be long and sharp.
Exactly. Height does not really matter. It's as big as you make yourself. And her presence on floor is huge. You would think she is 5'4".
Priya Carling, a 4'11" keg of dynamite, has just finished her floor routine. Now, this was the last vault, last pass for Western Michigan.
Brooke Galesko with that front handspring, tuck half, beautiful form in the air. She's tiny, but she gets so much height into the air. Just that slight step on the landing. That's it. Pulled in a nice score, 9.85.
There we go over. You see Wilberforce on the bars. Madison Kelly has finished her first, or she is the first. Danielle Johnson set to go next. And up next for Western Michigan, back to the ball.
And Kennedy Cooper with a beautiful Yurchenko full, just the slightest foot movement on that landing.
Kennedy Cooper gets airborne very quickly.
She does. She does. She is just so much power. She's also a freshman, so we have many more years to watch her just get better and better and better.
Up next on the floor should be Kyrie Lowe for Eastern Michigan as she's waiting.
Yep. And I love this routine. It is very sassy. It is a Chicago-esque burlesque type of routine. Very fun. She shows it off. It is one to watch.
Kyrie Lowe takes the floor for Eastern.
And Kiora is up on bars. Nice. That is a ray, which is extremely hard. She does a toe on to a Tkachev, a little close to the bar, which will incur a deduction. She is probably their strongest bar worker, I would say. Beautiful pirouette on the low bar. Gearing up for her dismount. Hits that last handstand. Toe hand blindfold, double tuck. Just that chest down and hop forward. But that was a great routine. And here comes DK Roy flying by us.
Wow.
Through her Yurchenko full. She does a little flare and float, I like to say, right to that beautifully stuck landing.
Kyrie Lowe selling it on the floor right now. And she now has our singular focus.
She does. And she is showing that routine off. Heading into this tunnel. Oh, blowing a kiss to Katie. And Katie blew one back. I love the interaction between athlete, coach, athlete. And this is such a fun routine. She really performs it. And she's going to get ready for the last tumbling pass, which should be a double pike. Great land. Check down a little bit. She did have to take a step forward, which will incur a deduction, but I do love that cartwheel to the backside. And Kyrie has really come into her own this year as an all-around athlete, competing in all 4 events.
Here's one for you. Panache.
Panache.
That had panache.
What a word. Panache. That's a good one. I feel like I need to bring a thesaurus with me next time so I can just look through it. I feel like I need more words because I know Jason at home is tallying up how many times I say absolutely, so he can let me know.
Way to go, Jason.
I know he listens and takes notes of what I say because I take notes of what others say. So he's got to. I'm sure I've said absolutely like 12 times.
So who have we got up
We
next?
have Hallie Faulkner.
Okay.
This is going to be Yurchenko full, and she is going to explode right off that table.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is correct.
Western hasn't slipped. You keep thinking, okay, is there going to be one, maybe a couple that are just a bit off that will give Eastern the open that they need? And right now, Western just isn't giving it.
She gets extremely high off that table.
Tight those legs are.
In the past, I used to use Coach L. Sharns as a unit of measurement when it came to Bronco gymnast Peyton Murphy. So I'm going to use my L. Sharns unit of measurement, and that is about 1 L. Sharns above the table. That's how high Hallie Faulkner travels on that vault.
Well
no, absolutely
done.
Not.
Western mugging a little bit for some of the fans that made the trip. You see over on the bars.
This is Promise Jean-Marie. I just love the last name. It's my favorite. With my French accent. My French accent's way better than my Italian accent. You can ask my athletes.
Okay. I speak Italian, so I'm going to hold you to it.
Oh, it is. One of my athletes, Luna, her dad is Italian, so I'm learning the Italian from them.
You know what Luna means in Italian?
Moon.
Yes. You're learning.
I am.
Just one word.
And here's Elena Fisher. Front layout to front full. Sorry, Alana Fisher.
There
Fish.
you go.
They call her Fish, so we're just going to go with that. I got sidetracked with my Italian conversation. But I love this routine. She choreographed it herself. And this is such a fun routine. Plays to the crowd, plays to the teammates. It's fierce, it's demanding. It draws you in.
She comes right at us.
Right at us for this double pike. Slight chest down, step forward, but this is the dance break, her and Katie at the same time. I love it. Beautiful switch side straddle jump. Getting ready to hone in on that ending right to those judges.
Yep. And I see a smile. Now, normally that's going to be a good thing, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a solid routine from Fish. Fish, the fish stir, fishy.
Well, you're seeing the scores here. And any reason why Ella Shamati is just a 9.525?
I'm going to go with it was that crazy jump combination that she stumbled about.
Stumbled backwards on a couple steps. Okay. Because otherwise you're seeing 9.7, 9.775. Fish finishing, and you got the two big guns coming still here for Eastern.
But remember, we 6 up 5 counts, so they do get to throw that score out as long as it's the only score that's
well, we talked about it. Coach Minnesota has saved her two big guns to the end in Boris and Brushwood. So now they know what they need to do. And as we're looking over at the bars, there's Western.
And there's Western. And Allie Shop.
All right, Raisa Boris. Her next to final home meet of her career. Can she come up with a big one?
Why are you going with that next to final homie? We're not there yet. We are not to the end yet.
No, I didn't say we are. That's why this is the next to final.
We're not ready for those moments.
I think I'd like to shadow you for a day, but I don't want to incur any tickets.
I don't think you could keep up with me. I don't.
My guess is you end up in places you never planned. That's my guess. Where was I going? How did I get here?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I walk into the kitchen and I don't remember why.
Oh, all right. Raisa Boris is ready. She's locking in, looking across them four at Coach Minnesota.
She is. She's ready to go. And I love this routine for her. Same routine that she did last year. But you know what? She knows how to do this routine, and she's going to tumble right at us. First tumbling pass, double pike. Beautiful landing. That was exquisite. Looking right at Katie.
Air confidence.
Well, they did that in unison. Synchronized floor. Round off 1.5, punch front layout. And I love the dance out of it. I love when they do the EMU.
Yep.
She just uses her eye so efficiently and effectively in this routine. Great switch, tap to a split full. Really honing in on the execution of that split. Getting ready, last tumbling pass, double tuck. Beautiful.
Yep.
All the way to the end. Love it.
Strong performance.
Absolutely.
Strong performance.
Absolutely. That's at least 15 absolutes. Just gonna keep saying it.
Not that you're counting.
I'm not counting.
You have somebody will, though.
Somebody will count for me.
All right, so this will make it very interesting because Abby Brushwood, who had gone leadoff on this rotation, is now the anchor.
Yes.
And I'll be curious if the guys in the booth have done the math, what she would possibly need to put Eastern over the top here. Yep. Waiting on Raisa Boris. Now, we will have an exhibition for Eastern Michigan as Gianna Antonio. There's Abby Brushwood feeling it right now. Wilberforce, have they finished up, or do they still have Jada Bryant to go?
I believe they finished. They are not even over there. There's no one there.
Okay, so they
Bars
are finished.
is closed.
So our apologies to Jaden Bryant.
Abby Brushwood alone with her thoughts right now. Thinking, what can I do to make myself just a little bit better?
Land your tumbling passes. That's what she's got to do. And all eyes are on Abby.
Yep. Last performer in the arena.
Other than our exhibition.
True.
But here we go. Gearing up first tumbling pass. Front layout to Rudy. That is so high.
She was pleased with herself.
I think she was as well. She's like a whole body height above the floor on that Rudy, which you want to be.
Raisa Boris, a 9.875. You see her score now being posted.
Beautiful leap pass, switch side half to a straddle jump. Really emphasizing that split position. This is such a fun floor routine. I actually really enjoy her in this sixth spot. I think it's a good place for Abby. Nice straddle jump to a double stag. Getting ready for her last tumbling pass, double tuck.
Off she goes.
Beautiful.
Oh, stuck sophomore, and she knows it.
And what I love about her tumbling is her knees and toes are glued together, pointed. Her form on this event is unparalleled.
Yep.
Beautiful.
I don't know what else you could have asked out of Abby Brushwood there.
She did her job. She did her job on all the routines that she did.
Pizzazz.
Pizzazz.
I'm going to go with pizzazz because that was full of it.
Panache, pizzazz. Look, we've moved from S to P. We've done ease.
Look, Abby Brushwood, hold your head high. That was an excellent, excellent performance.
Full of panache and pizzazz.
Yep.
And precision and presentation.
And we're taking a look at our two potential all-around winners here. You see Raisa Boris, the senior, everything for Eastern, and right there, Rylan Garvey, the freshman for Western Michigan. She gives herself a smile.
Saw that she was on the screen. There she is.
Oh, look at her.
That's
She wears that well. She wears that well.
She does.
All right, here's a sentimental favorite, at least for myself, but I got to figure for everybody in this arena right now. Gianna Antonio.
Well, we know how I feel about Gianna Antonio. Again, watched her from a little Gianna Antonio to a college Gianna Antonio. And she is, for me, she has those eyes of a nation eyes and performances in this routine. I have always loved her floor routines. She is just one to watch, and I love that she's having these moments on the floor exercise. Even as exhibition, as long as she's performing, we don't care. We just need to see her.
She was out of it for a while with that injury.
She absolutely
You see the heavy
was.
brace obviously on her knee, but what a testimony.
And Abby Brushwood went 9-9 for her routine.
Well done, Abby Brushwood.
We have front layout, front full. Beautiful form. Such a great routine. I love watching Gianna on floor. Switch leap to stay full. Beautiful extension in those leaps. She knows how to perform.
She's Italian.
She is. So as my athletes would say, chillify.
I was going to say.
Or echo.
That wasn't for educational purposes. It was basically a rhetorical, wasn't even a question, it was a statement.
I know it was, but I was giving you my words that I learned. Chillify and echo.
She was born with flair.
She was born with flair. Nice Rudy.
Showing it off there.
Jump. And as we would say, bravissimo. Bravissimo.
I'd say ottimo. Excellent.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
You do now.
Want to say it again?
All right. Well done, though. Gianna Antonio, all smiles, finishing up this meet strong.
Absolutely.
And now being a little playful. All right. We're going to put a wrap on this one when we return. Don't you go anywhere. We'll get the finals right after this.
I can order contacts in 5 minutes and get them the next day.
Bam.
Wow!
Right now, you can save 25% on your first order, plus fast free shipping right to your door.
Well, she's not the easiest person to please. Right, Mama?
She needs things to be just right.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, we do love her. That's my mug, isn't it?
But she needs a place of her own, and fast.
Thankfully, she's on Redfin. Redfin updates their listings every 2 minutes.
That means every 2 minutes, there's a chance we'll be back to having our porridge in peace.
Oh, wow. This one's just right.
Is she leaving? Yes.
Oh, it's happening. It is happening.
If you go to the gym and all you do is run on a treadmill for an hour, you don't need a training shoe. However, if you start incorporating weights, the more dynamic in terms of lateral to medial, up and down, a normal running shoe with a lot of stack height will not give you the right amount of support. The point is to wear product that you don't have to think about. And if it's engineered right for that activity, you're gonna not think about the fact that you're wearing it because it's doing its job.
We live for the NWSL on ESPN. Facts. For the trend spins and the soap shrugs. For fandom so fierce you can feel it. And we are here for it. The NWSL on ESPN. Facts.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
I take the first shot, and you keep it running. We know a lot of my turn to nothing to something.
He is must-see television every time he puts that uniform on. College basketball, it never disappoints. How fun is this?
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
It's the return of women's college hoops.
Oh, my!
With the game's brightest stars. Must-see matchups and off-the-charts hype. All season long on the networks of ESPN.
It is March Madness, baby.
Let's go! This is just spectacular.
There's nothing stopping him right now.
The celebration is on.
March Madness begins March 19th.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Alex Pereira,
The most dangerous and destructive champion in the sport.
Magomed Ankalaev. This guy can do it all.
Tonight's meet between Eastern Michigan and Wilberforce and Western Michigan is brought to you by Belfour Property Restoration, the leading disaster recovery partner for businesses and communities across Michigan and around the world. And the Eastern Insider Podcast with Tom Helmer and Greg Steiner. Catch new episodes every week on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, and more. Back at the George Gervin Game Above Center, there you see some future, whether they be Eagles, Bulldogs, or Broncos, or maybe somewhere else in the MAC or around the nation. We've got a ton of youth. You said PAX, correct?
PAX Gymnastics, yes.
And they are going to perform for the crowd here this evening. Brent Balbinot alongside Kim Dowis-Brown as we are just awaiting the final scores and awards to be handed out. We believe we know who the all-around winner is, but we won't let the cat out of the bag just yet, at least until we get green-lighted. So let's go to fourth rotation highlights here as we wait and see how things played out. And I'll tell you what, Eastern couldn't have done really much better on the floor, but Western just got better with each passing rotation. They never gave Eastern any daylight to try and kick the door in.
They absolutely did not. They stuck almost every landing. They hit every routine, but Eastern did give them a run for their money. They were hot on their heels, but Western just nailed it.
There you see Priya, 4'11", and just a keg of dynamite.
Absolutely is.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the all-arounds, and just by the slimmest of margins. Raisa Boris, 39-3. Rylan Garvey, she's going to win many more over the next 3 years. The freshman was exceptional tonight. There you see Kyrie Lowe and Deora Pete Williams for Wilberforce.
But that was Ryland's career high, topping last week's all-around.
39-2.
So
She's getting better with each passing week.
she definitely is.
Let's take a look at Raisa Boris. How do you replace her? Well, right now we won't go there
We're not
just
worried
yet.
about it yet.
It'll be something for the coaching staff to work on. But my goodness, she just is a picture of consistency.
She absolutely is, and she will be hard to replace when it comes for that time. But until then, we're just going to enjoy her for the last few weeks that we got
There's
her.
only one home meet left. Get out here on March 14th and check her and the rest of her Eagle teammates out. Take a look at the vault results. Yeah, Western's just. How do you break that door down? They didn't give you any opportunity.
They definitely did not. They came out tonight ready to go and ready to win.
Take a look at the bars. Again, Western pack scoring.
The amount of stuck landings that both these teams had on the end of beam bars, but Western just ran away with it this evening.
On the beam, there's where Eastern made some money. They got themselves close, but look at that. Shamani, Fisher, none of those surprise you, do you? Does it?
Absolutely not. Ella Chamati, 9-9. Well deserved. That is where she needs to be. But Eastern just ran away with the balance beam this evening. And you know what? Well worth it. They have been working so hard on beam. You can definitely tell that putting in those numbers garnered the results this evening.
And then on the floor, Abby Brushwood. Has she looked better, in your opinion, than she did tonight?
You know what? Tonight she looked amazing. And that sixth spot is definitely a place where she is comfortable and a place that I would love to see her stay, especially if you're going to pull in a 9-9.
Well, her and Raisa, again, the two anchors, and they did not disappoint. Taking a look at Cassie St. Clair, Alice, I mean, just strong numbers. I think both coaches have to be pleased. You want to be putting your best performances together when you get this deep into the season, don't you?
You absolutely do. And only with a few meets left in the season before MAC Championships on March 22nd, which will be held at Central Michigan University. Both teams are in great spots and looking good heading into the rest of the season.
Well, on the horizon, Western Michigan hosts their